fucking do it.
Welcome back, terrestrials. In this episode, we're pretty sad today.
Hmm.
We we've been watching a lot of good movies. We've been watching Longlegs, Alien Romulus, The Substance,
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
Right.
Jerry, for some reason, is hardwired to not like more
Had
than
to go to our
a
roots.
few
Got to go to
good
the
movies
roots.
at a time. So we went back to the old school method of send three trailers. The other person gets to pick out of these three trailers.
Right.
Um, in Good Will Hunting, where Robin Williams asks, like, why'd you choose the wrench? And Matt Damon or whoever, he goes, because fuck him. I chose the wrench. When Matt Damon's talking about his dad beating him, and he's like, he gave me the choice between a wrench and a belt or whatever. And he's like, why'd you choose the wrench? Well, I chose the wrench because Jerry sent me three not great movies in general, but then um, one just stood out. Let's just say that. Uh, in today's video, we're watching John Carpenter's presents Vampires Los Muertos. Mur Muertos.
Murders. Yeah.
Muertos.
Yeah.
Um,
Vampires.
you know,
Fucking part two.
yeah, it's supposed to be the sequel to the original John Carpenter's Vampires with
Right.
James Woods. We watched it and now we're here.
Right.
Um, you go ahead. You go ahead.
You
What do
go
you
ahead. Fucking.
what do
I'm done
you
talking,
what do
motherfucker.
you give it?
Yeah.
What do you give it? What do you give
I'm
it?
gonna give it an A plus. No,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna give it. Yeah, that's the joke. Yeah. I'm gonna give it a D minus. No, a D plus.
I'm gonna give it a straight D.
Okay.
It is movie.
It is.
They did make movie.
I did.
So that's always some sort of valuable. Even when the movie is as terrible as it can be, they still made movie.
Yeah.
So,
They, f-
um,
they like being a sequel, they hit what needed to be there in a sequel. It's not the best, sequel,
mm-mm.
but they made sure if you hadn't seen the first one, basically to hit all those marks with how they hunt vampires and, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
the other thing is that it's got and Jon Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
He doesn't do like a horrible job, but
It
at the
was
same time,
just
he wouldn't have been my first pick to be in this movie.
I'm sure he wasn't.
It's like
I'm
I'm gonna
sure he
be in your
wasn't.
movie because I'm gonna fund it or something. So
Yeah, yeah, basically like,
right,
hey, I've got some money.
I got money.
You don't
I
need to
don't
pay
know
me.
if you
Just put
know
me in
I'm
this movie.
Jon Bon Jovi and
Yeah,
shit.
I'm Chong Bong
Yeah,
Jovi, however fucking Frank says it. And
Bone Jai or
yeah,
some shit.
yeah. Um so the thing is, like, I don't know really what his acting chops are because I felt like this movie didn't give him anything to really sink his teeth into. See
Yeah,
that? See what I did there? But no,
no,
like
that was great there.
legitimately, it just seemed like nobody had enough line or enough story arc, their characters, that gave them any way to actually perform. His whole job is like, yeah, fight vampires.
I'm a vampire hunter and
Like
shit.
James Woods in the original still made it seem like he was angry because he lost his team. He was vengeful. He was kind of like off his rocker a little bit. Um because of the previous storyline.
Right.
This one starts with Jon Bon Jovi, um,
Without a team.
without a team. He's
Yeah.
always worked alone.
He's a
So
lone wolf.
there's no reason for him to be, aggressive, upset, anything like that. So, I don't know. I think that they tried to bring in some like newer elements. I don't really remember the
Right.
original one very well. I need to go back and watch that because I used to
I
love
do.
that movie when I was a
I
kid.
saw it in the theater.
Yeah, I mean, it came out at a proper time
It's
for
got the
our.
worst bald one.
I didn't hate him. But again, I haven't seen it in probably 15 years. So, but I know I had it on VHS and I watched it regularly on
Hmm.
VHS. But anyways, the
Like in the original James Wood one,
yeah.
like the best part is the beginning. Like every when the team gets wiped out,
Mhm.
that's kind of when my brain was like, "Oh, I kind of want like the Ghostbusters with vampires." Just like that was fun. I like the Ghostbusters with vampire thing. How hard is it to do that? Apparently, fucking hard because they missed the opportunity in here where when they were like, "Yeah, Jon Bon Jovi, you're gonna go get the team," and I was like, "Fuck yeah, awesome! They're actually gonna
But
do
you
it." They're,
thinking, but when they say that, you think Predator. You
yeah,
think he's gonna go put this badass team together,
that's
but
what I was thinking.
instead he put the fucking replacement bench
One, yeah,
players, like the
yeah,
bench
like
warmers on this
fucking
fucking
like,
team, and it's like, what the
uh,
hell, dude? You got a
right,
16-year-old kid, you got Eddie Winslow, you got fucking some half vampire girl that's like kind of a
yeah.
junkie still somehow, but even though it's for a necessary reason.
I'm taking
And
medicine to
then
cure my vampirism. It's
yeah,
just like,
yeah,
how does that work? How does
yeah,
that work
yeah, that whole thing because they didn't explain that drug at all. All
at
they
all?
said was, "I gotta go back to
I got to
Mexico
go
City."
back to Mexico City and
All
get,
right,
but
well, what else is in Mexico City that we're not looking at right
right,
now that
it's
is
too
viable
far away,
options?
and these people they need to
Yeah,
be safe from vampires.
yeah, yeah,
But like, because that was like when the original idea was like, yeah, he's gonna go put together a team like James Wood had.
yeah,
My brain was like, oh, awesome. You
yeah.
play the Predator music fucking now. I want to see like badass vampire hunters. Jon
Right.
Bon Jovi. I mean, like, or we can just call him Bon Jovi. We don't have to invoke the whole name, I don't think.
Nah, I
But
think I feel like it's
yeah.
necessary.
Yeah, but like when it was really coming down to it, I was just like, oh, that's really cool. That's a cool concept of just like, yeah, we're gonna get this badass vampire hunting team going. And then the more the movie went, the more I realized I don't think I'm gonna get my badass vampire hunting team and shit. And then it just like because like even with the kid at first, and I know he's in Star Wars stuff now, he's a pretty well-known actor.
Yeah,
But like I was like, oh cool, he's gonna be now the new rookie. He's gonna be
yeah.
the new rookie. And then all of like these awesome vampire hunter guys are gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna show you the rope, kid. And then like it just like every stop he kept going on just kept failing. And I was just like, well, the vampire is going to be a bad. No, vampire's not going to be a badass. It's going to be kind of shit and make no sense. Like, and I was just like, oh, god damn it. God damn it. And then the Winslow, uh, fucking, what's his name?
His real name?
No,
Oh, Memphis or
yeah,
something. I don't know.
Memphis. Yeah, well, he's
They just
from
call him,
Memphis.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll
I
just
don't know.
call him Memphis.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he showed up and he's like the
His
only
name's
one, I was
Eddie
just like,
Winslow. Like I
yeah,
don't Eddie
Eddie.
Winslow
Yeah.
showed up from Memphis. That's what happened.
When that moment hit, like I loved it because like they literally shoot a person in broad nighttime,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it's a vampire, and they had a weird sound effect in the background
Hmm.
of like all of like these people like somebody help that poor man and shit, and I'm just like oh please one of them
I
go.
didn't notice
It's
that.
it's okay. He's a vampire and shit. And it's like, oh, you can get away with that in Mexico. It's
Yeah,
fine.
but that's what I was going to say. In Mexico, that's fine. You can
Yeah.
shoot them and behead them and throw them in a dumpster, and that's just
He's a
Thursday.
vampire. It's
It
like,
don't
oh,
even
okay.
have to be a vampire. You can just do that shit. It's But yeah, so like
No.
back to what you were saying initially, when he's like assembling the team like this, like I was like, oh, all right, cool. Clearly all the badass dudes are dead
Right.
somehow. But the losers are still alive somehow, also weird. But I think I think the thing that really like I was okay with it. I was like, all right, cool, the badass team is dead. He's going to just have to take the scragglers
Just
or
gonna lone
whoever's
wolf
gonna.
this motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah, he's just gonna go serenade her and then kill her
Right.
with some song that he wrote. But I I was still on board, and I was on board with the kid because I was thinking like Ash vs. Evil Dead, like
Right.
Hefe, Hefe.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a hefe.
But uh, it wasn't. It did like he was the key thing, but then you got clearly swole, buff knockoff Henry Cavill, um, preacher man, and then this girl that I don't even know how she like she made Patricia Arquette seem like such a good actress or actor that it bothered me. I was
Right.
just like, how are you worse than her? Like, because her voice is annoying. She can't act. It's very rare that I see a movie where I'm like, holy shit, she did a good job. This woman outdid her, but in a bad way.
Right.
The whole movie, some of the technology that they were trying to employ, like that little, like, heat seeking thing that would show the cold. I was
Well,
like, oh,
James
okay.
Wood, I think, uses something like that in the
Yeah,
first one, but they don't
yeah,
explain it. He's
right.
just looking around with
Yeah,
that
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. But then when you see it, it's like, oh, that's kind of stupid. But, the
I mean, it
fucking,
it was cool. It was a good concept, but the thing is, like, it's not going to tell you temperatures.
no,
It can't read temperatures from across the city.
no.
So that's stupid. It can give you variations, like you can look at a guide, like snowfall, like the
Mm-hmm.
purple, the white, green, like you can look at that, but it's not going to tell you the exact temperature of somebody across the way.
Uh,
Um,
you talked about the acting of our main vampire. I noticed in this, okay, so
no, 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 not her. The half vampire,
yeah,
the
the
one
half
on drugs.
vampire,
Okay, okay.
like our half vampire.
Not boss bitch.
Yeah, but when I was watching her, like
Hmm.
like it was her and Jovi fucking having a dialogue conversation, and I was like, the audio feels weird.
Hmm.
Not like, they're in a booth, but just the way that she's delivering lines on the audio, it kind of felt like text to speech
Hmm.
at one point where the director's like, that's great, can you just speed that up a little bit, and she was trying to get it out as quick as possible. Like she knew all the dialogue. Like I think it was the part where she's hitchhiking, and then like he's like, how can you be in the day,
Yeah.
and like yeah,
That
like
goddamn.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was like, I need shade and a Coca-Cola, and like, but then they're having these conversations, these dialogue moments, and I'm just like, something feels weird here. Like, and most of it felt just
It, it,
like,
it it's the acting. It's the
yeah, I guess
terrible
so.
acting.
So,
It's the terrible acting. I definitely I think I adjusted to it or got used to it, or it wasn't as bad later in the movie.
right.
But in the beginning, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then especially that scene that you were talking about where he pulls over and he like throws her at the Jeep, even though she was asking for a ride. It was very aggressive for little to no reason. She was willing to get into the Jeep, and you still angrily got mad at her and threw her a Jeep. But anyways, um, there were a lot of things. That one might have been a booth thing or something.
Maybe.
But there was other people in the movie that were talking, and they weren't quite lining up, and I was like, did they dub this whole fucking movie for
I
no
think so.
reason?
I think
um
they just filmed, but didn't made sure to film like, okay, here's your lines, know your lines, but we're not
Right.
recording audio. All audio will be put in post-production. But that could be a slippery slope because without clean
Yeah.
production, like some sounds that sound like it's natural, it's like you can just feel the uncanniness of it, you
Yeah,
know? It
yeah.
just
And there was a lot of things like they were delivering a lot of lines when there should have been natural sound behind them and there wasn't.
yeah.
Especially in Mexico City. Like they made that bus like putter and putt around, but there was no like extra sound of the city going on.
Right.
And like, even though they were like, oh, everybody's hiding, like everybody comes out and there's still no sound when the boy is talking to the old man.
Hmm.
And it's like, well, he just picked up a mask and set it down or whatever he did. There should be sounds. Things make sound. We're not
Right.
in outer
Yeah.
space. Like there's no vacuum out here. So,
There'd be
um,
like some kind of wind blowing or
yeah,
fucking like, something like some
yeah,
organicness
yeah.
to
Nah, not at
your
all.
atmosphere
No.
instead of just
And
like,
also, not a single Bon Jovi song.
they couldn't afford that. They could afford Bon Jovi, but he's
I
not.
think he
Yeah,
made this movie. I think
maybe.
he called John Carpenter and was like, "I'm trying to break in. You got something?" And he was like, "Take this."
I think John Carpenter just was like, "Oh, great, a check." Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's what
can
I
because
mean.
it's
Like
not
he's
like
just take
John
this.
Carpenter's Vampire. It's John
Right. John
Carpenter
Carpenter
presents.
presents. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, oh, a check. Great, that's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. Uh, I think like if I be honest, I think this series, I don't know about the third one that
Oh,
you
I do.
watched.
Do
Okay,
you
good.
want to talk about it right
No,
now?
not at all. I don't know anything
No,
about it. We'll talk about it next week when we review it,
the
Jacob.
fuck we
Yeah,
won't.
we're
No, the
yeah,
fuck
that's
we
what we're
won't.
doing. You already
It's
said
my
we're
turn.
doing that.
No, it's my turn. I just said I
Uh,
watched it. Here, let's finish watching it.
no, not at all. Turn it up.
Oh,
But I think this movie needs to
be
like
burned in hell.
be remade of the vampire series, but just take in that hone of like, okay, guys, they're Ghostbusters, the Predator. We need just a badass team to hunt down badass
They did.
vampires. And well, the first one, but
No,
the
no, no. What I'm
oh,
saying is they made a movie equivalent to that.
okay,
Um, obviously it's not the exact same. It's not John Carpenter's Vampires,
right,
but that movie that Jamie Foxx did with the little Franco, Dave Franco,
okay,
on Netflix, like he's a vampire hunter,
yeah,
and Dave Franco is like an accountant for the vampire hunting firm,
right,
and they somehow get stuck together, and he like forces him to be his partner, and like the kid's scared and all that shit. So
okay.
like they go into like a abandoned mall that goes downstairs, and so like those movies are out there. I would say probably personally, I would say leave it the fuck alone. Like
Yeah, but
just
I like how the vampire hunters look. I always like especially because I'm
you
like
like long black trench coats and
yeah, I mean that's all they wear, but
yeah.
I like the setting. Like they're always in desert towns,
Oh,
and
for sure.
I
Yeah.
think that's cool. Like
Yeah.
their one weakness is sunlight because
Yeah.
nothing else fucking works.
Yeah.
And shit, sunlight really doesn't work because it's just like,
According to this movie, it doesn't work because her heart was still beating even though she was burned. But
well,
a beating heart just sitting on the floor, that's okay.
that
Like,
was in the first one. They dragged him out and then they stabbed him they
yeah,
spiked him in the heart.
right.
But like if you look, especially in the end of this movie where there's a temple, there's like all types of like sun coming through and like she's
Yeah.
and I'm just like, maybe not as, like dark as dark guys, like
Yeah, they
no
definitely played
sun,
it. Yeah, they played it fast and loose with the sun hurting
sunlight.
vampires
Right.
because it was bright. Now, I think that we kind of as a society decided that direct sunlight had to be the thing because remember when they were showing the ritual and she was walking up to test to see if her hand would burn the first ritual.
All right.
She was near the sunlight as she was approaching it. It was only when she put it in direct sunlight did she start to
Right.
burn. So
That's
I think they could just have an umbrella
Yeah,
and
that's what I
go
was thinking.
outside.
It's like,
Like,
oh, they don't need to be in darkness
right, right,
during the sun. They just need to be under an umbrella.
right.
Just
Yeah,
like, oh,
exactly.
it's terrible the daytime outside, but I
Yeah,
have my
sunscreen,
umbrella and I've got
sunscreen and
sunscreen
a
on.
hat.
It's
You're fine.
right. Um, but I think like, yeah, if you like really came down to it, made a good movie about like, operational crew and, the southwest of the United States.
So
Like,
you want like the Predator
I
in the
want the
desert.
Predator with vampires. I want Ghostbusters with vampires. Oh, we got I think they called them Bug Nest, or we got a nest
Yeah,
in,
the
a
nest.
little
Yeah.
town out there. And like, you
And
know,
when he said that, I hadn't heard nest referred to for vampires since the original, and
yeah,
it like triggered in my head, and I was like, oh my God,
get like a
whoa,
good action
nostalgia.
star. Like, I like the James Wood, but when you actually like, I don't know how long it's been, but James Wood in that character role kind of seems like, you know, yeah, Dad, you're cool. Like I always geeked out about it.
uh
He always to me felt like when your dad goes through a midlife crisis and starts getting into the music and shit of your
Yeah, but
kids.
I think that that's the whole thing with the movies. They seemingly have been doing this
Right.
for a long time. Like Bon Jovi was a singer, and then he's now a vampire hunter.
Right.
Like he's later in his life at this point. Yeah, James Woods seemed like he was older, but I don't need Zac Efron in there either.
I
You know
don't
what I
know.
mean? So like,
I mean,
um,
Chris
I
Pine,
don't know. Yeah, I
you
mean,
know.
there's people. You could do Chris Pratt, you could do Chris Pine, you could do any of the
Yeah.
Chris's really. Um, but I didn't I didn't dislike him being older. I mean, it
Oh,
doesn't,
no.
um,
It felt weird. It was like he kind of like, oh man, I wish I could get, my Kurt Russell. I wish I could get Kurt Russell or Roddy Piper and be that character. But both of
well,
them kind of
they were
passed on it. So he's
probably
like,
the
what about
same.
James Wood?
Well, yeah, but those guys would have been the same age. I think James
Right.
Wood was just old looking.
Yeah.
I like, all right, let's see. How old was James Woods in
I
19?
don't know. Like I said, I mean, but then again, it is vampires. Like, oh man,
How old was James Woods in John Carpenter's Vampires?
63.
He was 40.
Okay.
So not super old, not young,
Uh,
but yeah, he was, we're
Either way.
40. It'd be like us fighting vampires right now. So,
Right. It's like
well, it'd be like you. I'm not
that's
40, but
small potatoes. And that's a different movie. We'll talk about that if we ever do John Carpenter's
I think we
Vampires.
have to now. Not right away.
No, not right away.
We need to give the stench of this one some time to wash off.
Right.
But yeah.
Because things I also lost plotting. The Ritual. Like, what?
Yeah,
Was
what
that
talk
was
more
that
about it?
mentioned? And I was just not paying attention.
Yeah, well, they half-assed explained a lot of things. So
Right.
there was the medicine that they didn't really explain.
Yeah.
You knew where to get it, but you didn't know what it did. You don't know what was in it,
Right.
nothing like that. Um, and it was weird because they went into the hospital when she started, like when she realized her medicine was gone. They went into the hospital and checked the medicine cabinet as if it just said vampire
Vampire medicine.
medicine.
Yeah,
Like,
experimental vampire
yeah,
medicine
yeah.
from
As if
Mexico
that's
City.
just everywhere. But they have as explained that they have as explained the ritual, and then they also have as explained what the combination of that cross and the ritual have to do. Like, obviously, the ritual. They basically said, do this ritual and you can walk in sunlight. What else would you need to know?
Maybe
Do
that
the
was explained in
ritual.
the first one. It's been so long since I've seen
Right, yeah. It's
it.
been since like 2004 since I've seen that
Right.
fucking movie. So, um, but from 1998 to 2004, I saw it regularly.
Right.
So it's amazing that I
Or
don't remember any of it.
or okay, so explain this to me. So all I got to do is do a blood transfusion to a half vampire and let the blood go in one arm and let the blood go out another arm,
Uh-huh.
and that makes her okay. But yet, if
Yeah.
I were to do the opposite, where I
Which
put the
Bon
blood
Jovi does.
in Jon Bon Jovi, then I become vampire?
So no, she had not vampires giving their blood and transferring her blood out, which made her okay because
Okay.
it kept more not vampire blood in her than vampire blood.
Ah,
Then she gives her vampire blood to Bon Jovi, and then he comes vampire. And then that's why they both put their sunglasses on when they were driving away at the end of the
right.
movie, because vampire.
Right. It would have been great though if like at the end he was like, "See you around, Jon Bon Jovi." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here with my girl." And then like him and the kid just kill him. It's like,
Yeah.
"Death to the vampires! It's our
Yeah,
job
exactly.
now."
Yeah.
There's a lot of work to do.
I could not stop laughing at the end of the movie when the preacher, mechanic, whatever he actually was. He must have actually been a preacher though, because he stayed to rebuild the church,
I
which
think
looks
he was
like,
just a janitor at that
well, that's
monastery.
what he said. He
Yeah.
said, like, I was just a mechanic, I was a hired
Right.
help. But then he stayed to
Some
fix up,
flowers.
but then he stayed to fix up their church.
Right.
So then it's like, wait, were you a priest? Like, were you whatever
Well, he
you were
was the
called?
mechanic, and now he's like, "Yeah, I got a broken church I gotta fix."
Yeah, I guess.
Like
But
like a vampire compelled for blood, this mechanic is compelled to fix the church.
I couldn't help but laugh because I was like, well, that town's protected by them guns. That dude was swole as shit, and they
Yeah,
just hit it the entire movie. That was a missed opportunity to have the badass. Like, he is built like somebody from Predator.
right.
Utilize that. Why did you keep him in a fucking shirt the entire like?
Because we got
And
Jon
then
Bon Jovi.
and then they cut them short sleeve shirts up here so you
Right.
could see it. And then it's like, wait, you should have had him be the like
Yeah.
machine gun guy or something, like with the
Right.
big heavy like you missed
Like
the you had the opportunity, but you had Eddie Winslow with a shotgun instead. Like, he probably stole it from
not
Carl's
even, yeah.
fucking squad car and just ran away. Like, yeah,
With like some kind of special magical bullets or something I don't
yeah,
remember.
he had shotgun shells that had wood
Stakes or
wood
some shit. Fucking
wood pellets in them.
right, I
Yeah.
guess. Oh fuck, no, you were talking and my brain was going, yeah, that's just like the part where
The old
oh,
man
fuck.
hits him
Oh
with that
yeah, every
longbow.
mechanical wench, like
Yeah,
all the
just
wenches in this is
all
just
bought at
shit.
Harbor
It's
Freight.
just
All
shit.
Harbor Freight
Right.
winches, dude. Like, bottom line, fucking yeah.
Like
Mm-mm.
I
That might
like
as well have been a hand crank fucking for a boat. Like, that shit was terrible.
my brain's going, especially when they were dragging it through the building.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not how that works. It's gonna get snagged up,
Yeah.
guys. You
Yeah.
can't you can't like
The
lean
angle
it
wasn't
over
right.
to one side or it's
Yeah.
gonna start fishnetting and shit. It's just and then like yeah, yeah, see, told you, motherfuckers. Like
Yeah. Also, let's be very clear, those winches, it was the same winch. They just kept using the same goddamn winch. Um, but that winch is meant to haul cars, like to pull cars out of mud and
right,
ditches and shit. It would have broke that corner of the wall off and pulled that woman's arm off her body if she didn't let go.
right.
So to sit there and be like, this vampire is so strong, he held the no, no, no. Sorry. I believe that as much as your drug from Mexico City.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, or another part where I was laughing was when he takes the surfboard out
yeah.
and like you can see it. It's like, and then all of a sudden he opens the surfboard and the surfboard goes to like that, and I'm just like, there's some magical Mary Poppins bag bullshit going on with that fucking surfboard,
Yeah.
guys. I mean,
Yeah.
it was cool and fucking like.
Desperado.
Desperado,
Right.
where
Yeah.
fucking he pulls the guitar case out,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that fucking surfboard for one goddamn minute, you
Nah.
know.
Also, why steal that from Desperado?
It's fucking cool as shit fucking when it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. And then at the end, all three of them had one.
Right.
They had the
Like,
machine gun one. They had the
like,
rocket launcher one.
right, right. But
That's what they needed. They needed to incorporate some cool.
rocket launchers, explosions,
Yeah.
just explosions.
Yeah. I
They had
mean,
the vampire catch on fire thing, but like in some scenes, if you look, like the fire was like really CGI'd and shit, and I'm
yeah.
just
Yeah.
geeking out about
In the
that.
other scenes, you can see that they just used like aluminum or iron shavings,
Right.
and because like you could see it sparking, and I was just like, oh, all
I
right, that
think
was
the
just a,
first one where he kills the prostitute
mm,
and like he shoots her with the stake gun,
yeah,
and that's when my brain went, "Oh my God, what
a
are they?"
steak gun. That sounds dope,
Yeah,
like
like
a meat steak, like just
oh,
shooting
like a
meat
meat
into.
steak,
Yeah,
like
that'd be
filet
cool.
mignon and
Yeah,
fucking like bite size,
yeah,
bullet
hell
size.
yeah, dude.
But I don't. You good
Mm,
anymore?
no, I'm good.
You're
I
good.
I'm
Okay.
amazed we made it this far with conversation about this movie. I mean,
Yeah, because like
honestly.
when the movie, like I've noticed in conversations like this,
Hmm.
when the movie's really good, there's only so many times that you can say the movie's good. However, when the movie is shit, you can pick apart it with a
For sure. For
fucking
sure.
like fine-tooth
Well,
comb.
to be fair, we've picked apart really good movies that we enjoyed and
Correct.
then been like, no, we like this movie,
Right.
but we're also picking this movie apart.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I mean, this movie is what it is. They made movie. It was not good. It specifically was not good at all. Um, and the third one's terrible too. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. So we don't need to review it. Let's go back and review the first one at some point and just skip the Muay Thai kickboxer themed one. Um,
Well, in that case, Jacob,
yes.
would you have gone to see this in the theater?
I think this was straight to DVD.
I think this is a sci-fi. It feels like remember when Sci-Fi Channel
Yeah,
was
for
making
sure.
movies?
For sure.
I really feel like before they started making quality movies, like
Hmm.
they were like, what oh that title can be purchased real low cheap, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I think they did that because this does not feel like it doesn't even feel like Redbox quality. I've seen Redbox shitty movies that have a little bit more quality, but this just does not feel
I mean,
like
this definitely feels straight to DVD to me.
yes,
Or
yes.
yeah, maybe sci-fi it'd be a good place for it, or like a TBS original or something like
Because I know
um,
there's like there's curse words. They curse, right?
not really.
You don't remember a
I
curse?
don't
I don't
remember a
remember an
fuck. I
F
don't remember a
word,
shit or
and there's
nothing.
no nudity in it except
Yeah.
for what's her face has a little see-through shirt at one point. Fucking our main vampire, but
I don't, I think her nips just got hard. I don't even think she was see-through.
mm,
So like, this probably was just like a made,
made for television.
yeah. And that would explain that red transition screen that they did for no reason in the
Right.
beginning of the movie. But yeah, all right.
Yeah. So now, do you want to own any physical copies of this?
No, I don't. I want to get it out of my brain.
No, I don't want to own any physical copies of it either. Jacob, could this be a cult classic?
No.
Yeah, no, fuck, no. This is a forgettable, just like crud. You know, nobody gives a damn about this. I guarantee you. At this point, I know I want to thank all four of you who accidentally clicked on this video. Two of you because you know the video waste product, and the two others, it's like, holy shit, someone actually watched this goddamn movie. That's hilarious. Yeah, because that's all I can think of on this video.
Yeah, I mean this really is just it's nothing of a movie
Like,
and it sucks and
like,
it's
holy shit, they made a sequel to John Carpenter's Vampires. That's
it's
crazy.
the same thing that they did to Dust Till Dawn. They
Right,
kept dumping out movies until somebody was like, "Look,
Right.
I will murder you if you put another one out. And then they were like, all right, we'll
All
stop.
right. Jacob, would you recommend this
No,
movie to people? You
no,
wouldn't recommend it? No, no
no,
recommendations. No. Fuck no.
no.
Fuck no.
Movie's fucking terrible.
It is, and it's like it's sad because like there were moments where I was geeking out about it, but it's like there weren't enough so bad it's good. Like there wasn't enough of it. Like, where it's like incompetence or, just trash where it's like, holy
Yeah,
shit, this is
they missed the opportunity to have the fumble through, like the
right.
Ash character where he just like fumbles through and he's awesome. Like that, the kid, the young little protege, he he was just awesome off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
He just had no hesitation, no not like they missed an opportunity with him to like get his legs. Like he
Yeah,
should have been
learn the
yeah,
ropes
he should have been
and
baby deer, deer in the headlight type thing, and then
right.
develop like okay, well next time,
Like
like
there's never like he does something that causes like a moment of like retrospective
yeah,
of him being like, yes, I want to do the vampires. I mean, yeah, he kills his friend in the beginning and then he's like, oh yeah, they're in the fucking church there, and my brain's going,
no.
what the fuck are vampires doing swimming in churches? Fucking, oh yeah, they can't, crosses don't work on them anymore. It's just like, okay,
Well, that and also there's the whole concept of one thing in the movie I noticed was like everybody was lying to Bon Jovi. Everybody.
Even the
When's
director.
yeah, because he kept telling them this is going to
The
be a hit.
director and the producer
Um,
out there being like, nah, it looks great, man.
yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna fucking excel
The
you.
the swole the soul swole pastor
Right,
um was lying to him about him being a pastor or whatever else too.
right,
Eddie Winslow was lying about being infected, and Eddie Winslow knew the whole goddamn plan and then spilled the beans right before he died.
right.
Like he was still like he was bit. He knew the plan. He could have been like, I think that this is what the plan is, and he just kept going along with the bullshit and getting drunk. Like, what the fuck is that? Like,
Man showed up in fucking Mexico for a nice little vacation, couple hours shooting here and there. That bottle of tequila probably was from the beach resort. He's wearing probably the same clothes that he was wearing at the resort and shit. And then like by like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, too hot to film. So we're gonna go back or we're gonna shoot our scenes in the shade. If you notice, this movie has one like it only has like two shots. We go to a place, we do something, we drive away. We go to that place, we do
mhm,
something, and then we drive away. And then we
mhm.
go to, and like, there's so many scenes in this that's either shot at night, vampires,
Vampires,
or it's in the shade
right?
because it's probably fucking hot down there and shit.
Mhm.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine in Mexico or New Mexico or wherever they are, um,
It looks like down
they
there.
they couldn't be far because they said it was 2 hours to Mexico and then back.
All right.
Um, or 2 hours there and 2 hours. Anyways, thanks for watching. This is stupid. This movie's stupid, so just know that.
Yeah.